Some rivers are so full of dangerous animals that falling in is essentially a death sentence. From crocodiles and hippos to piranhas and electric eels, these waterways are home to predators that have been hunting along their banks for millions of years. And the humans who live beside them know that the water is not their friend. In today's video, we'll be looking at 4 of the deadliest rivers in the world, ranked by how dangerous the animals inside them are. And to start, we'll be heading to South America, a river so vast it carries 20% of all the fresh water on Earth. And so loaded with predators that scientists haven't even finished counting them yet. Number 4, Congo River. The Congo River is the deepest river in the world, reaching depths of over 720 feet in some sections. It flows for approximately 2,920 miles through the dense tropical rainforests of Central Africa and drains a basin larger than India. The Congo's rapids, cataracts, and waterfalls are among the most powerful and dangerous in the world, and the river's hydrological violence has created an environment where only the toughest, most specialized, and most formidable aquatic animals can survive. The most famous and most feared animal in the Congo is the Goliath tigerfish. A massive predatory fish that can reach lengths of over 5 feet and weights of over 110 pounds, equipped with 32 interlocking razor-sharp teeth approximately an inch long that fit together like the teeth of a bear trap. Its bite can sever a large fish in half and looks like it belongs in the mouth of a dinosaur rather than a river. The Goliath tigerfish is the undisputed apex predator of the Congo River system, sitting at the top of a food chain that includes over 700 fish species, and has been credibly documented attacking and eating juvenile Nile crocodiles. An extraordinary reversal of the predator-prey relationship most people would expect between a fish and a crocodilian. Local fishermen along the Congo regard the Goliath tigerfish with a mixture of deep respect, cultural significance, and genuine fear. There are persistent, widely repeated reports of attacks on humans. Accounts of the fish biting chunks of flesh from fishermen and from children swimming in the river. The accounts are consistent enough and widespread enough that researchers take them seriously. The Congo is also home to Nile crocodiles, hippos, African rock pythons, water cobras, and dozens of endemic fish species that have evolved in complete isolation in sections of the river separated by impassable rapids, functioning as aquatic islands of evolution. The Congo's depth, power, and sheer inaccessibility mean that large sections have never been properly surveyed, and the animals living in its deepest channels remain largely unknown to science. The Congo River takes the 4th place spot. Number 3, Ganges River. The Ganges River flows for approximately 1,560 miles from the glaciers of the western Himalayas through the densely populated plains of northern India to the Bay of Bengal. Its banks are home to over 400 million people who depend on it for drinking water, irrigation, bathing, religious ceremonies, and the disposal of their dead. This intense, intimate daily contact between humans and river means that the dangerous animals living in the Ganges have more opportunities to encounter people than the animals in almost any other river system on Earth. The most dangerous resident of the Ganges is the mugger crocodile, a broad-snout, heavily built, powerful reptile that can reach lengths of over 16 feet and is responsible for dozens, and possibly hundreds, of attacks on humans along the river every year. Their attacks follow a devastatingly predictable pattern. A person enters the river to bathe, to wash clothes, to collect drinking water, or to perform one of the Hindu religious rituals that involve immersion in the sacred river. And the crocodile, lying completely submerged and entirely invisible in the turbid brown water just a few yards away, detects the vibrations of the person entering the water and strikes from below without any warning whatsoever. Many of these attacks occur at the ghats, the wide stone staircases lining the river in cities such as Varanasi, Allahabad, Patna, and Haridwar, where thousands of people enter the water every single day. The concentration of human activity at these sites attracts fish, which in turn attracts the crocodiles that feed on them, creating a dangerous overlap between the river's most sacred sites for humans and its most productive hunting grounds for predators. The Ganges is also home to the Ganges shark, one of the rarest and least understood shark species in the world, a true freshwater species so poorly known that scientists cannot say with confidence how large it grows, how it reproduces, or how many individuals remain. Fewer than 20 specimens have ever been collected. It has historically been blamed for attacks on humans, though many incidents may have been committed by bull sharks entering from the Bay of Bengal. Confirmed man-eaters with well-documented histories of attacking humans in rivers worldwide. The combination of mugger crocodiles, freshwater sharks, extreme pollution, and the sheer density of daily human-river contact makes the Ganges one of the most dangerous rivers on the planet. The Ganges takes the third-place spot. Number 2, Mara River. The Mara River flows for approximately 245 miles from the Mau Escarpment in Kenya through the Serengeti Mara ecosystem and into Lake Victoria in Tanzania. For most of the year, it is a relatively unremarkable African river. But every year between July and October, the Mara becomes the setting for one of the most violent and most filmed wildlife spectacles on the planet, the Great Wildebeest Migration Crossing. Approximately 1.5 million wildebeest, accompanied by hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, must cross the Mara River at several points during their annual migration. And the crossings are among the most dangerous moments in any of these animals' lives. The Mara is home to some of the largest and most well-fed Nile crocodiles in all of East Africa, individuals estimated at over 16 feet in length and weighing well over 1,000 pounds. These are crocodiles that have been gorging on one of the most reliable and abundant food sources available to any predator on the continent. They wait at the established crossing points where the wildebeest are forced by terrain to enter the water, and they have been returning to these same ambush positions for so long that some researchers believe individual crocodiles have been exploiting the same stretch of riverbank for decades. They arrive at the crossing points weeks before the migration reaches them and simply lie in wait, with the patience of a predator that has been perfecting this strategy for 200 million years. When the wildebeest finally arrive and begin plunging into the river in a stampeding, panicked mass, the crocodiles explode from their concealment in eruptions of spray, mud, and chaos that have produced some of the most dramatic wildlife footage in television history. A large Nile crocodile will grab a wildebeest by the legs, the muzzle, or the neck and drag it beneath the surface in an attack that is over in seconds, the wildebeest drowned and dismembered before the rest of the herd has even finished crossing. The crocodiles are not the only danger. Hippos, killing an estimated 500 people per year across Africa, are present in significant numbers and occupy territories the wildebeest must pass through during their crossings. The combination of crocodiles, hippos, strong currents, steep banks, and the sheer chaos of thousands of animals plunging into a narrow stretch of water simultaneously makes the Mara River one of the most consistently lethal bodies of water in the natural world. The Mara River takes the second-place spot. Number 1, Nile River. The Nile River is the longest river in the world, flowing approximately 4,130 miles from the highlands of Burundi through Uganda, Sudan, and Egypt to the Mediterranean Sea. It is the river that has shaped more human history than any other body of water on the planet. The civilizations that arose along its banks created the pyramids, developed writing, invented the calendar, and built one of the earliest and most enduring cultures in human history. But the Nile has also been killing the people who live beside it for as long as those civilizations have existed. And the animals responsible for most of those deaths are still there, still hunting, and still extraordinarily dangerous. The Nile crocodile is the undisputed ruler of the Nile River. Nile crocodiles kill an estimated 300 to 500 people per year across Africa, and a significant proportion of these attacks occur along the Nile and its tributaries, where crocodiles lie submerged at the water's edge and ambush anyone who comes within range. The Nile crocodile can reach lengths of over 20 feet and weights exceeding 1,000 pounds, with a bite force of over 3,000 psi, the second highest of any living animal after the saltwater crocodile. Once those jaws close on a limb or a body, there is no force the victim can exert to pry them open. The death roll, in which the crocodile grabs its victim and spins its entire body to tear off flesh or disorient and drown the prey, is one of the most devastating attack techniques in the animal kingdom. The Nile is also one of the most important remaining habitats for the hippopotamus. The most dangerous large animal in Africa, killing an estimated 500 people per year, more than lions, crocodiles, elephants, and buffalo combined. Hippos in the Nile are particularly dangerous because the river's relatively narrow channel in many sections forces hippos and humans into unavoidably close proximity. A hippo that perceives its territory has been invaded will attack with explosive speed and terrifying violence, completely at odds with its round, placid appearance. Hippos have been documented capsizing boats with a single upward lunge, biting dugout canoes cleanly in half with their 20-inch canine teeth, and pursuing fishermen onto dry land at speeds of up to 19 miles per hour, faster than most humans can sprint. In some stretches of the Upper Nile, hippo attacks on fishermen are so frequent that certain sections of the river are avoided entirely after dark. Beyond its two most famous residents, the Nile supports populations of venomous snakes including the Egyptian cobra and banded water cobra, Nile monitor lizards exceeding 7 feet in length, and the mosquitoes that transmit malaria, which kills over 400,000 people across Africa every year. What makes the Nile the deadliest river on this list is not just the danger of the animals inside it. It is the impossible combination of those animals with the billions of people who have no choice but to live beside it, depend on it, and enter it every single day. The Nile River easily takes the first place spot. Of course, there are other dangerous rivers around the world that could have made this list, and I'm sure some of you will have suggestions. If you have any thoughts, then feel free to let me know down below. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.